Alright, BobalosRex here, and this video is coming out the day the Turbulent Timeway starts, and we gotta talk about it. So, Turbulent Timeways are beginning this Tuesday, which is when I'm posting this, and there is a new, and it's gonna go for 5 weeks. So it goes from the 26th of September all the way to the 31st of October. That Tuesday is when it ends. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Because it ends here. It's going to be 5 weeks of time walking. Alright? So you got this week, the 1st of October, that October. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it's done. That's not clear. Also, Eastern Kingdoms Cup is going to start during it. But let's focus on the Timeways event because there is a mount that is linked to it. And unless they decide to elongate it, you're going to want to get it done. Now let's figure out where it is. Right here. Master of the Turbulent Timeways. Gain Master of the Timeways for 5 weeks during the Turbulent Timeways event. I honestly hope they elongate this event. But it is only going for 5 weeks, so don't miss a week. And I'm going to bring up a Wowhead post that is talking about more. This is tentative, because you really didn't get to test it. But let's bring this up and see what we got in the data. So, there is a mount link to this. Here, I'll bring up the mount. I mean, it's not a big deal, but if you're a collector like me, you don't want to miss anything. So, here, look at them. It's alright. It's something. You know, to some people, oh, it's just a real color. Oh, it's not a big deal. Well, it's good then, because this is a time-sensitive event. And if it was too much of a big deal, it would be too much, you know, to some people. But yeah, let's talk about this. Whether or not you like it, whether or not you don't. I'm excited they do events like this. This achievement being a thing, I hope this means these are going to come back more often. Maybe be permanent. But let's get into it. So, the return of the Turbulent Timeways event was data mined. Blah, blah, blah. In this week's PTR, a new experience buff has been found attached to the upcoming event. Knowledge of the Timeways. Okay, so let's read this. Increases experience gained from killing monsters and completing quests by 5%. Completing time-walking dungeons increases the effect and refreshes their duration. Upon reaching 4 application, transforms to Mastery of the Timeways, increasing the effect to 30%. So you do 4 dungeons, which would make it 20, but then you get the Mastery, which makes it 30. So that's pretty good. And the achievement here says you need to get that gain Mastery of the Timeways for 5 weeks during the Turbulent Timeways. So you got to do it every week. But you don't got to do it in a row, which means this event, say you do 4 this event, you miss it, they bring back the event in another time, you do 1, boom, you get the shell wings. So that's good. You don't have to do this consistently for 5 weeks in a row, but you got to do it for 5 weeks. And right now, the event only lasts 5 weeks, so you got to do it every event if you want this mount now. But, again, it can come back, and hopefully it does. And this means it will. But there's also another little item here. This is Distilled Knowledge of the Timeways. Increases experience gained, so it's the buff there. So maybe... Okay, so that's a buff activated by this. We don't know how many you're going to be able to get of these. Using the idea grants it. Completing a time-walking dungeon also increases the buff timer by 1 hour per dungeon completion up to a maximum of 5 hours. Earning 10 stacks. It said, even though this says 4, so I think they reduced it. I think this is old. So this is old. This writing here, but this is updated. So you're going to need to do 5 dungeons, it looks like, is what it looks like. So you do 5 dungeons, You get these items, activate these items, and then you get the buff. One of the interesting things is you may be able to do this on one character, get these, send it to an alt, give them boosted experience, and do more. And you can hold on to 5 of these. So you can do, maybe you can do 10 dungeons 1 week, hold these buffs, next week comes around, and then you pop these, you get the buff, it counts for the week, and then there you go. But yeah, that's not, but I'm not sure. This is all tentative. We're gonna find out literally the day that this video posts, but I wanted to get this out there so you know to do these time walking. So you're gonna want to do at least 5 a week for 5 weeks for the next month over October. Get some alts leveled up, get some people geared, because it is going to be time walking all those weeks. You know, we're going to be starting with, let's see what we got here. What time walking is it? So it's going to be starting with Kata. So it's going to go Kata, Mop. Oh my god. Kata, Mop, Draenor. What do we got here? No, there's Mop. Legion. What in the world? What? Okay, so let's see here. Hold up. Oh, dang. So it's going to start with Kata. Then it's going to do Burning Crusade. Then Legion. Then Mop, then Wrath, and then it ends. Interesting. Interesting setup. But yeah, there you go. So that's the lineup of dungeons. Do 5 a week for 5 weeks. Get your shell wing and have a good time. It'll be BlizzCon at that time, so we'll be all having a good time talking about the new expansion, most likely. But yeah, so make sure you get that done. It's starting today. Level some alts, gear some people, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.